Where were you born?
Riverton, Wyoming. January 7th, 1952. Riverton Memorial Hospital.
Okay. What? Tell me about your childhood. What was the best part?
I don't know what the best part was. There were a lot of good parts. I liked to play baseball. I liked basketball, but I had slow white man's disease, so I never got to play on a team. I was on the swimming team for my sophomore, junior, and senior year. I broke the record for 400-yard freestyle, but I'm sure it's been broken 5 times since then.
You think so?
Oh God, yes.
What was some of the bad parts?
Oh, I consider the bad parts the fact that I had to work for Dad all the time. I always had to go out. I had to do chores before I went to school, to go out and feed the cattle, and you knew this and that type of stuff. Going out, and then I'd go to school right after that.
You didn't like that?
No. I didn't like working with the cows. I didn't like doing farming. So I figured I'd never go back to farming.
Elaborate.
What?
Elaborate on why you hate farming so much.
Well, it's a 24-hour job almost. There were times when Dad had 100 head of cows, and he was birthing, and I would take the first shift, which was by the time I got home from school till midnight. I would go out and watch the cows that are about ready to drop, and then when I was done, I'd come back, and he would take over after midnight. And he wanted to make sure all the cows delivered their calves without any problems. Occasionally we had problems. We had to pull them out.
Like a complication?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't come out right away. Yeah. And that was really hard. That was in the spring, usually around March, when it was cold, snowing, that sort of thing.
Who was the most influential person in your life?
Oh. I mean, really didn't have any one person that was real influential. I loved my grandfather, William. My grandfather, Henry, was very influential. He taught me about baseball. And Grandpa Cooper was the same way. He taught me a lot about baseball. Dad was never around. I mean, he would send me out to do something with the cows, and he'd take off and go do something else, and then I'd come back and I'd be out there all by myself. I just didn't like working by myself all the time.
What is your profession and why? What was your profession and why?
Well, when I went to school at ASU, I got a degree in real estate. And that's when I started, in 1982, I started doing appraisals with Tom Baroni. And we did appraisals till 1987. Then the laws changed because of the savings and loan crisis. And so they blamed a lot of that on the appraisers, which they had no right to. They just needed somebody as a scapegoat. So that meant there was too many appraisers after that, and they had to be certified. So I went through the certification, and I got certified as a master appraiser. But then the work dried up. Then there was no work at all. So I had to go back to school to do something. And in the service, I was in the medical field, so I went into the medical field. So I figured, well, maybe I'll get my RN. So I went and got my RN. Because the only other thing was to be like a nursing assistant, and they didn't pay shit for that. So I went in, got my nursing degree in 3 years, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, and became a nurse in 1991. And been in nursing for 25 years. Then I went and got my real estate license. I'm on real estate license now, but I'm retired from the RN. But I needed to take care of 4 kids at 1991. I had 4 kids. I needed a job where I paid halfway decent. I couldn't be a nursing assistant, so I had to do an RN.
And that's why Tom let you stay in that place, or he rented out that?
Well, yeah. Well, he had those apartments there that were not doing very well. He thought he did a good job of buying those, but it was a kind of a mistake by him, and he was just trying to keep them going so that he could pay the mortgage on them and just let them appreciate, not really take any money off of them. And that's when we started getting a divorce from your mother, and I needed a place to stay because we let the house on Elmore go. So we sold that. So I needed a place, and he said, fine, you could do that. So he let me stay. I started in that one bedroom, and I was paying him rent every month, which was fine. And then after the other manager moved out, he asked me if I wanted to be manager. I said, sure. So then that's when I moved over to the 2-bedroom, and you guys all came over too. We had all 4 of you in the 1-bedroom at one time.
I think that goes into this next question pretty well. Tell me about a time where you didn't know if you were going to make it.
Make what?
It happened. Anything, yeah.
I always knew I was going to make it. It just wouldn't be great. I knew that there were times when money was really short, but I always figured I'd have to figure out a way to do it. I mean, I could always work. And earn money. I mean, we wouldn't live high on the hog, but we'd get by. I knew we'd all get by.
What would you say is the happiest time in your life?
Oh, with all my kids and the grandkids.
Any particular age or place and time?
No, not really. Everything is ups and downs. So I always enjoyed the grandkids. Always enjoyed you kids were fun. I mean, there was nothing in my work that ever was totally 100% satisfying. What else?
Who is the love of your life, and how did you meet?
Well, right now, Ada Jean is. I mean, I was working at Plaza. She was in the pharmacy that supplied Plaza Health Care. And we started talking back and forth. And every time I needed something from pharmacy, I'd call her. And she would send me stuff when they send the drugs over to the facility. She would send candy or this or that or a note. Finally, she wanted to meet, so I told her if it was her 40th birthday, I told her, I'll take you out to dinner for your 40th birthday. She says, you need somebody to take you out for your birthday. Well, that's when we met. But she was very shy at first. I had to drag information out of her.
Yeah, she's definitely come a long way.
And she's changed so much since then. She didn't have a driver's license at 40. She was relying on her sister to drive her everywhere. Those girls were very well protected by their parents. They didn't want them out of the house. It's due to their religion, though, I think, more than anything.
What is your passion or favorite hobby?
Golf has always been. I've always been a little better than most of the guys that I play with, and because I worked a little harder at it every time I went out, I've always wanted to be. That was my number one thing. Is I always wanted to be on the tour, but never got a chance to do the work. You got to put the work in to be on the tour, And I was always busy making money to support you kids. So I never had a chance to do all the work I needed to.
What is your favorite memory of me?
Oh, I loved having you. You were my Bubba dude. I loved having a little, you used to go with me everywhere. You had that old mullet. Oh, you were fun to be around. You were so laid back and easy to get along with. And that one trip we took up to Yellowstone, just you and me in that car, that was a fun time. I enjoyed that.
I love that too. What do you value most and why?
I don't know. I value hard work and perseverance, and just because it's the only thing that's going to get you from A to B. I mean, you gotta do the work. I mean, I'm getting to a point now where I'm retired. I don't have to do anything. I have enough money. It'll probably last me the rest of my life. I don't really need to do anything else, and most of the days I don't feel like doing anything else because I've been working for 50 years, so I feel like I deserve a break. I mean, it's only been 9 months now. I mean, I haven't had a job for 9 months, and I'm enjoying playing golf.
Is there anything that you want to say to the family after they watch this?
I don't know.
I love y'all.
Oh yeah, I love all you guys. I hope that was indicated in the way I acted. I mean, I always liked Sarah because she was so aggressive, and she knew what she wanted most of the time, and she was not afraid to go after it. Same way with Bill. Bill was very competitive with Sarah, and he always wanted it. Emily was so laid back and so easygoing like you, and I always worry a little more about Emily than I do the other two, because I know the other two will get what they want. And then I hope that you guys get what you want too out of life, but I've enjoyed all of your kids. I wish that we had more family stuff. I wish we lived closer together so we could do more family stuff, you know. But that's the way life is. You get scattered all over everywhere. When I was growing up, everybody was in Riverton. We had 32 cousins in Riverton. And everybody got together on Thanksgiving. It was a great time to have, everybody got together around Christmas. And it was always, everybody was right close by. I mean, it was great. I mean, I look forward to those times of Thanksgiving. We used to have football games and all kinds of things. We used to play cards all the time with all my cousins. Now, you guys live so far apart now, it's just hard to do anything with them.
All right.